Hey everyone, Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. Going to do a quick video today on a very awesome dude in the Instagram community. He's Ken. Do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, sure. I can say something a little bit about myself. First of all, I'm Kenneth Gattano. You can call me Ken at TheHustleBee on Instagram. Really, I've just been fascinated with the e-commerce industry, and I really took the dip. Uh, Went really full time in February of this year, the 28th, actually the last day of the month, and started listing stuff. And made my first sales in March the 12th. So still fairly new.
Yeah, wow, you started in February. That's crazy. You've really accomplished a lot. I didn't know, I thought you were doing this for at least a year or two. I didn't know you just started in February. So,
Yeah,
for those that don't know, Ken is definitely like his niche is sneakers. Would you say that
yeah,
that's your main hustle?
yeah. I think really a lot about athletic footwear. Just a little bit background is I collect Jordans, so I was in the sneaker game, but really just part of collecting. I've bought some shoes on eBay, but I've never really ran into my mind to start selling on eBay until this year.
And you bring up a really good point that I try to hit home with a lot of people that watch my channel and stuff is if you're going to get into reselling, it's so much easier
Mhm.
to get into something that you know first.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
you said, you collected Jordans, and that's how you got into it. And so for me, I saw you on Instagram, and I was just amazed at your hustle. Every single day, you're out there, you're looking for sneakers and everything. So anyone that's new, and for me, I can't do the sneaker thing. For me, I just don't have the capital to purchase, stuff at like 60, $80 a
Mhm.
piece.
Yeah.
For anyone that wants to start off, like what are some like pretty much basic tips do you think?
Well, really, I actually started with so what I collected was high-end sneakers, right? But I eventually sold. I went back to the Philippines for a month, so I'm from the Philippines. Moved here 3 years ago. I sold half of them to just really spend time with my family over there in the Philippines, just kind of refresh. So went back here January. Really didn't know what I was gonna do, so I was pretty much living off my sneakers. So I would start selling. So I collected Jordans. So really, how I so I pretty much gathered $500 from my sneaker sale, and I said, "This is it. I'm gonna invest this and try to see how I can flip this." So I actually started at the Nike outlets, and anything I bought was actually under $20, surprisingly at the start. So really, one tip is, uh, like that $500 was something that I was willing to lose. So start with something that you're willing to lose, and a lot of that came from actually from my personal belongings that I didn't use. So I sold some of my, a lot because I work as a supervisor for a call center prior to going full time eBay. So I had some dress attire that I didn't wear. So I started selling those and stuff like that. So that kind of really like helped me out in the beginning.
Yeah, that's one of the tips I also tell new people that are into reselling is you can find like literally $110 items around your house
Oh sure, sure. Oh
easily,
yeah, yeah, easily,
easily.
easily.
And you said you're from the Philippines. You came here 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually got married with my wife, and we were just like I was done with college, so I went to school for business administration. So I majored in entrepreneurship, so everything about startups. Ever since I was 16, I've been my I've been flipping stuff in a way. So I started with really some fruits from my grandparents' backyard. I was that guy, and I actually eventually went to like cars and everything like that. Fell in love with cars, and pretty much just went deep to the network grew and everything. So I eventually had a brick and mortar shop. I had a coffee shop while I was in college, and I had a car shop. So I had those two going, but it was just for me after I graduated college. Me and my wife, she automatically became my secretary in the business because I was running those two. I had 15 employees at
Wow.
my payroll at one time, and I had that overhead that I had to cover it was just for me, I felt like it was so stressful. In mine, I was like 17, 18, 19, 20 on this time, and I was just like, man, this is just Like I felt like I missed out on a lot of things. When we got married 3 years ago, I was like, let's just go on an adventure. And her parents are here in Maryland, and like we chose not to move there. So I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. My dad had a friend here, so we came here. He actually let us live with him for like 3 months until we got our feet together and find our own apartment.
Nice, nice. I'm amazed. Like I've been here in the United States my whole life. I've been in Southern
Uh,
California, and I'm just amazed. I That's another thing that I love about your story is it's a really an American dream story where you can
yeah.
come from somewhere else and just if you have the right mindset. Because I think this game, I don't want to really call it a game. To me, it's like a hobby. It's
Right, right,
fun,
right. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and I think like if you have a really good mindset and you're really dedicated, you can go far. And you've spoke on like the thing that I love that you say is how you put your money away and you invest it, but you're just eating like ramen noodles
Yeah,
for
for
dinner.
real. So, yeah, I did it for 1 week. I did ramen noodles for 1 week, and the next week we upgraded to frozen pizza, the 3 for $10 frozen pizza from Kroger. So pretty much ate half a pizza. And I mean, like it was just the sacrifice that I saw from other people way back. And I'm saying like my parents went through the struggle, but I was blessed enough that I didn't go to the hardships that they went. But I said if they were able to bring my family there, to a certain level, I mean, I could sacrifice something. And it's funny that actually, so my mom actually started following my HustleBee Instagram, and she watched a live video, and she actually called me the other day. It's like, is this true? Did you actually eat ramen noodles for a week? Son, why didn't you call me? I was like, Mom, it's okay. It's fine. That was just the beginning. And, I just wanted to test it out and try it out for myself because I mean, America is the land of opportunity, man. That's why a lot of people want to go here. That's why everybody wants to, you know, take part of the. It's we're looking at it from the outside that once you get here, put in the work, you'll make it automatically. That's how we look at America.
Yeah, and you put in the hustle because you actually bring up a kind of a good point that I think about too. Is I think even myself, I take for granted the freedoms that we have in this country, and every day you be able to walk out the door and for the most part be safe and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
plenty of opportunity to make money, and it all comes down to the hustle. And again, and like I said, man, like that's what really attracted me to you was just your pure hustle and everything. So let's talk about shoes and
Mhm.
so, do you pretty much source at like outlets and like discount retailers?
Discount, yeah, discount retailers like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, and just DSW, just pretty much anywhere that I can find shoes like that is way below retail.
Yeah, for me it's kind of funny because we've had Ross here for years, and in the
Mhm.
'90s I used to go into Ross and buy like hats and stuff and sell them. And that this was
Yeah, yeah,
this was
yeah.
in the, yeah, and this was in the '90s, and
Wow.
there was lots of Nikes and stuff back
Hmm.
then, and I didn't
Hmm.
even think about flipping shoes back then because it was just
Right.
such a, I just was never into shoes. So the fact that
Yeah.
you're doing this and
Mhm.
what's crazy, so let's step back a little bit. So
Mhm.
when you're at these stores, do you scan the barcodes or do you look up the like inventory numbers? How do you go
So
about
yeah,
pricing?
so in the Nike, let me pull up one thing right here. So in the Nike shoe, there is actually, if you guys can see, I mean, you can just get see it right above the made in China. Usually, right, everything's made in China. There's actually 9 digits up there. There's six consecutive numbers dash another three numbers. So that's actually the product code. So with shoes that doesn't have boxes like this one, nobody would know what this is, right? I didn't even know what this was. So all you have to do is Google it, type it in Google Nike, and then those 9 digit codes, and it will actually pop up. So it will actually pop up what's the name of the product. And usually, like the second, third, or fourth links are actually links to eBay listing.
Right. And
So
so
you can do that too. Yeah.
that's how I don't know anything really about shoes. I mean, I wear Vans my whole life, the
Yeah, yeah.
skateboarding shoes. So I know about
Yeah.
those. So when I found some really nice like Air Maxes at
Mhm.
Goodwill last year, and that's how I looked them
Right.
up was with that barcode number.
Yes.
Okay, so you say boxes. Is it necessarily important to have the boxes when you're selling them on eBay?
Not necessarily because a lot of the market really on eBay is just trying. That's why they went to eBay because they want to get a deal, right? And I think if it's a shoe that people are just gonna wear, like it's not anything collectible. So when I collected Jordans, boxes were like, if you don't have the box, it's $100 off. Because it was collectible. But with regular sneakers, with box or not, sometimes they'd be just like $10-15 difference. And I even had some customers like, hey, would you give me a deal if you just don't send me the box so it'll be cheaper on the shipping or something like that. They haggle. So with the kind of shoes that I sell, really, these are just everyday and sports shoes. They're soccer cleats, football cleats. So at the end of the day, this shoes are gonna be torn up. This doesn't need any beauty on it. So I don't think boxes really matters in this category that I'm selling in.
You do bring up some good points. So it's like you want the box if it's an older shoe and it's a collectible, but if it's a newer
Yes.
shoe, it usually isn't too important.
Yeah.
So I have a. You actually bring up another great point. So what? How do you suggest to anyone that's new and they want to
Mhm.
ship shoes? What do you think they should
Mhm.
do? Like how should they ship them?
So I actually ship them just if it's this is the shoe, I just wrap them in a bubble wrap or some shipping paper that you guys could, like gift wrapping papers, you can use that. And I actually use the priority shoe box. So the
Yeah.
priority shoe box, usually those will fit from range, the smallest until like until size 12.
Right.
Anything bigger than that, I actually use a modified shoe box. So the modified box is actually a priority 1092. You can order online for free, modify it and alter it a little bit, which if you're allowed, you're allowed to alter it because it's not a flat rate. So a lot of this, I actually created a video, a 1 minute video on how to alter it, so they can just look at it in my Instagram on
Yeah.
how I do it.
Oh, that's on Instagram. You okay? So you bring
Yes.
up so that's a good tip on how to ship. Is it so? For me, they don't give away free medium, or they don't give away the shoebox size at any post office
Right.
my area. So you have to pretty much
You have to order
you have
it.
to custom order those from the USPS website.
Yes. Mhm.
So any like really interesting tips for like someone that's brand new, like what they should be looking for as far as like you say you okay, here's a good question. So like
Okay.
you specialize in Nikes, but is there any other brands that you think people should be looking at?
Nike's Under Armour is pretty big right now, especially with the community fitness and everything like that. So it's pretty big. Adidas is still really big. The reason why I'm gravitated to Nike because I live out here in Ohio, and my Adidas outlet is usually half my Nike outlet for some reason. My is half the size. So like as far as chances of me getting good quality of shoes, I lean towards Nike a lot because of the reason being I have a lot more outlets that I can go to. See, Vans is actually a good brand, but I don't have a Vans outlet.
Yeah.
Vans does a lot of collaboration. They do the Toy Story Vans, the Nintendo Vans. So those are really hot. Super Mario, those are really hot, but I can't get a hold of them because I don't have that outlet. So that's really one thing that really I could really the biggest tip really is just go out there and just try it. Worst case scenario, that's the reason why I love it's brand new. They're uh, you get a receipt, you get 30 days to return it, and you get up to 60 days to get in-store credit. So I had to do it at first, because I was just all about execution. And like how I really like how you love Gary Vee so much.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I actually saw you at first because of that Gary Vee figure, and I was like, man, this guy's interesting. And I saw your Gary Vee So like, he always says like, ideas are shit, but execution is the game. So that's really how I made a lot of mistakes, but at the end of the day, they're not really mistakes because I didn't lose any money. I may have lose time, but those time was actually those time were actually me able to learn. So that's really the main thing.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point about the returns. I never even really thought of that. So bringing that up, actually, you make a good point. Because for me, when I buy stuff at garage sales and thrift shops, it's
Yeah,
almost like
yeah,
final. It's final. So
right.
in my
Mhm.
mind, I don't even think about returns. So
Yeah.
that's actually a
Mhm.
good thing. And
Yeah,
then
so that's one thing that's really edge here. I mean, like I mean, America is so like lenient with returns. There's so like like they have a policy, no questions asked, 30-day money back guarantee. I was like, in the Philippines, we can't do that. Like we can't. Once you open the package, because us it's just they're just so much stricter there, and here you have that advantage, and all you have to do is play within the rules and you will succeed.
see, in the 80s and the 90s, returns were such a hassle here because I
Right,
think I
right.
think money was flowing. Right now, business is so tight for everyone to get their business is they
Mhm.
want returning customers. So they're
Yeah,
gonna do
that competition is
yeah,
really tight now. Yeah.
they're going to do anything they can to retain, the little, customers that they have. So you bring up a good point. Now, I was curious, you don't have a YouTube channel, correct?
Yes, I don't have a YouTube channel. I haven't really. I mean, I'm trying to get to YouTube and stuff like that, but right now it's just all about Instagram. I try to take advantage of Instagram Live and all the stories, because my main goal right now too is just to get to that 1,000 listings.
Exactly. You don't have
And
time.
yeah, and I've been hearing a lot about the fourth quarter. Like it's crazy. Like I was so pumped in June that I did those numbers, and everybody's like kind of like amazed by it already because like, man, I can't wait till you hit fourth quarter or even the end of third quarter. It's like, why? What's this about? Like, man, you could really double or triple your numbers from
Yeah,
that, especially with the kind of inventory that I have.
exactly. I was just going to say that, man. You have the inventory. That's like pure for fourth quarter. That's where it's all at is all the stuff
Mhm.
and it's, it's all the holidays, it's Christmas, it's all
Right.
those gift giving holidays that,
Mm-hmm.
people are definitely, looking for that kind of stuff. Let's talk real quick about storage. How do you deal with storage? Because I assume you have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of
Yeah,
shoes.
so I actually live in a two-bedroom apartment. I intentionally have a two-bedroom apartment because my parents usually visit me every year, and I actually took over that one room with shoes. So there's this shoe racks that you can buy in. I think I buy it at Amazon that you can stack 40 of them at a time. So really, I think I believe I have yet to do an inventory recently, but I believe I have 500 pairs of shoes right now,
Wow.
and a lot. Yeah, I think 100 of them are actually pre-packaged in boxes already, so they're actually easier to keep. I mean, like to store. The only thing I think for me it's just the exciting of that feeling that walking in the room because I used to be a collector. That the other room used to be just like have hanging shelves. So it was just seeing all my Jordans and stuff. So I kind of like brought that over that I want to go in this room and just see all the shoes that I have. So like I could easily fit 1,000 in that room alone.
That's crazy. So it kind of feels like a warehouse in there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I guess when your parents come, you can just like lay them flat and then put a mattress, a
Maybe,
mattress on
but
top of them.
I actually told them about so because they were like pushing to come here this year. They usually haven't visit this year. It's like, hey, what do you think? We're coming over. It's like, mom, like, can you just wait like till next year because I'm really trying to grow this eBay business and look at your room. Mattress are just like flip over and everything like that. I was like, okay, well, just hold on. So yeah, they're kind of excited of what I'm doing as well.
That's too funny. So like I said, man, I've seen a lot of sellers come and go, and I'm just really impressed with your attitude. I think your attitude is really good. I'm impressed with your hustle, man. You really like when you said you're gonna eat noodles for a week. that means
Uh-huh.
that I knew that you were serious, because we've all been in that point where, like, do you
Right.
buy stuff for inventory or do you eat? Sometimes it's like
Right.
that.
Right.
So I
Yeah. Yeah.
I really, oh man, that's really awesome. Like, you're doing a good job. So everyone who wants to follow Ken the Hustle Bee, you're at on what's the name on Instagram?
Instagram at the hustle bee.
So at the Hustle Bee, we'll leave a link below. You can check out Ken's. You do a lot of live videos on Instagram too, huh?
Yeah, I do a lot of live videos. I usually try to do a live video every 11 p.m. Eastern time, and just try to talk a little bit about my day, and just try to answer more direct questions from the people, within the community. Because for me, really, if I, my heart is really, I want to help out people. Prior to doing eBay, I do a lot of private consultancy on businesses and startups, and I've I've it was close to not really charging them anything. It's really totally up to them. So like now I found out eBay and stuff like that with my experience in just having a brick and mortar and just going to school for it. I've just developed that strategy, and like that's why I show my numbers, the profit, because for me that actually helps me decide of how much inventory I can buy. That helps me. It's kind of like a temperature. When you're trying to cook something, it's like, is it going to be overdone, or is it going to be too raw and stuff like that. So that's how I play the game. For me, it was just like I came in with a really different approach. I was like, hey, if I mess up, I mess up. But like with the results that I'm getting, like my average sale price, really consistent. My net profit is really consistent. It's like, man, this seems like a discipline that anybody can apply on any of their, so that's why I'm so big on strategy. Anybody could use my strategy on a different niche that everybody's trying to get into.
Absolutely. See, for me, I do this as a part time, and it's kind of a hobby, and I'm kind of lax with the numbers too, and I should be more focused on like profit and all that stuff. So I definitely that's another reason why I respect you tremendously, man, because numbers are really everything. That's all it comes down to, is really numbers. Is
Right,
like,
right. At the end of the day, right, right.
like, is it worth doing? Is it not worth doing?
hmm
So,
hmm
oh man. So
hmm
do you have any final words before we head out of here?
Yeah, I mean, really, I always tell everybody around me, I think a lot of the people have heard it from me is, it's either you love what you do or you do what you love. You have the choice. We especially here in America, you have the freedom. If you hate your job, you're not locked in a contract that you have to do this job. Like you could hustle whatever you need to do and go find something that you love, and eventually, and I always say, like, money is a result of something that you do passionately. And if you don't do something so passionately, your money's not going to be up there, right? You're just going to have regular money because you're putting in regular effort. If you're doing something that you really really love, the money is just a result of how much you love the thing that you're doing. So that's it. So go do what you love, or either love what you do, because if we're really chasing for that success, that's what it will take.
Man, those are some definitely wise words and definitely awesome words to close with. So I want to thank you, Ken, the Hustle Bee, for taking time out of your
Sure, sure, sure.
day to come and do a little chat here. So I really appreciate it. For everyone, I'm going to leave a link below to Ken's Instagram, and definitely everyone go follow him and check him out. He's going to go far. I know it for sure. We'll be talking a year from now, 2 years from now, and you'll be a multimillionaire, man.
I hope, man. I hope.
All right, buddy. You have a good day, man.
Alrighty, thank you, thank you.
What you know about rocking the wolf on your noggin? What you knowin' about wearing a bird box skin? I'm digging, I'm searching right through that luggage. One man's trash, that's another man's. Fuck your granddad, we're donating that rap. Now I'm up in her.